history of transportation in New York City, then versus now. The first American steamboat was constructed and tested by John Finch in 1786. By 1790, he was running a regular freight and passenger service on New York's Delaware River. With the advent of the omnibus, a horse-drawn carriage with space for roughly 12 passengers, public transport in New York City got underway in 1827. The fare was about 12 cents and the riders entered through the back door. Engineers were finally able to move beyond horsepower and switch to steam and electricity thanks to technological advancements. Millions of people were transported every day by public transportation innovations like trolleys and elevated trains, which bolstered the city's busy business centers and promoted residential growth in surrounding neighborhoods. As early as the 1870s, there were talks in New York City of establishing an underground rail system. Alfred Ely Beach constructed and operated a pneumatic subway from 1870 to 1873 in Lower Manhattan. This system features a single-car train powered by a large rotary blower called the Western Tornado, running through a block-long tunnel beneath Broadway between Warren and Murray Streets. With 94 miles of elevated rails, 265 miles of horse-drawn railways, also known as streetcars or horse cars, and 137 miles of horse-drawn omnibuses. New York City had the greatest urban transport system in the world by the end of the 19th century. With Brooklyn Bridge, the first East River Bridge, opened in 1883, a cable-driven railway was introduced, making it easier for thousands of daily commuters to get from Manhattan to Brooklyn. To oversee the construction of its first underground system, the city formed a Rapid Transit Commission in the 1890s. By 1904, the Interborough Rapid Transit Company (IRT) had constructed and inaugurated 9 miles of tunnels tracks with 28 stops. Construction had started in 1900. The Rapid Transit Commission planned to install 19 more tube lines in 1905, connecting 4 of the 5 boroughs, not including Staten Island, with a total of roughly 160 miles of track. Some of these lines would be incorporated into the already existing IRT network. By 1953, the public transport system was unified under the New York City Transit Authority, which assumed management of all owned buses, trolleys, and subway lines.
Dreams take flight in the city's glow both day and night. Skyscrapers rise, touch the sky. In New York's heart, I'll reach so high. The streets alive, a constant hub with endless tales in every slum, from Central Park to Broadway's lights.
The future of public transport in New York City. As for the future of the New York City transportation system, Governor Hochul has introduced the 2025 to 2029 capital plan. This plan outlines all the new improvements that will happen to all different modes of transport throughout all the boroughs. This new plan is in collaboration with the MTA of New York City. The main improvement includes more accessible stations, 500 electric buses, new infrastructure and subways to prevent storm water flooding, improve ventilation and reduce excessive heat in the 20 most vulnerable stations, reinforce Hudson line against storm flooding, install fare gate systems allowing people with disability, families and elderly people access to the subway without struggle. This will implement into over 150 subway stations. They will invest an estimated $3.2 billion in this project in order to make the state of New York a better accessible city by public transport. Types of transport in New York City. There are many types of transport systems in New York City. Firstly, there are airports. There are 3 major airports in New York City: JFK, LaGuardia Airport, and Newark Liberty. This allows global connectivity and global economic benefits to the state of New York and also the United States. If you want to get into the city from JFK, there are a range of ways. For example, one way is by bus. There are 20 select bus routes. Buses have a daily ridership of 1.4 million. Another transport system is the subway system. New York City has an extensive subway system with 36 subway lines running through all the boroughs of New York. The subway has a daily ridership of approximately 3.2 million. Most subway rides cost $2.90, payable with MetroCard or Omni. Contactless payment system. Thanks to technology advances, we can now order a taxi ride on our mobile phones. Residents of New York know the burden of public transport and would rather take an Uber or Lyft to work. However, the price of the fare compared to public transport can be more expensive. Another popular way of transport thanks to technology advances is electric scooters and electric bikes. This allows people to get around the city quicker as there are a lot of traffic congestion, especially during rush hour. In New York City, a majority of the population lives outside, such as Staten Island. There are two ways to get to there, either by car or ferry. The ferry runs regular from Lower Manhattan, and this transport services is free of charge. It is governmentally financed and it allows everyone from all different wage brackets to use it. The population now in New York City is 8.258 million. New York City received 62.2 million visitors in 2023. You can see why New York City would need an efficient transport system. For visitors coming to New York or residents, New York City boasts a range of transportation options, making it accessible and convenient for visitors arriving from various locations. The area offers three major airports. They serve as key entry points for domestic and international travelers. For those coming from nearby suburbs, there are local buses and train routes that offer efficient routes into the city. Travelers from the East Coast cities often choose buses, which are affordable and convenient. They provide reliable services along with local carriers. For those who prefer driving, navigation apps like Google Maps and Waze make finding your way through New York City's streets manageable. Parking can be arranged in advance with services like Parkwiz or Spot Hero, and many hotels offer packages that include parking. Once in the city, exploring on foot is highly recommended. New York is an exceptional walking city, allowing visitors to experience its vibrant neighborhoods up close. In covering great distances, the city offers a wealth of options: subways, buses, trains, bicycles, ferries, taxis, and app-based services like Uber and Lyft. Public transit is especially convenient with the extensive subway system, which includes 36 lines connecting Manhattan, Queens, Brooklyn, and the Bronx. Most subway rides cost $2.90, payable with a MetroCard or an Omni contactless payment system. Subways and buses cover nearly all parts of the city with accommodations for people with disabilities.